The ideas of work energy, work/energy, was developed by comrades and myself in the early 1980s to first deal with the notion of an energy crisis. And so we felt that that was not an adequate way of understanding the situation, and develop a conception of what the crisis was involving not energy, because energy as a physical quality was endless, but the crisis of the 1980s that capitalism was facing involved a work crisis, the ability to use energy to extract surplus value from the working class of the time. There's not one form of work. And this conception of work that we developed in the early 1980s, we called manifold of work, is the fact that much work takes place in areas where the word work was never used to. Okay, now here, hold on to your hats, and here we go to the very important, I think, use that the concept of organic composition can be used to understand the nature of capitalism and why capitalism is such a subtle system where so much is hidden from us, so much is a matter of transformation. It's this transformation that creates a level of hiddenness in the system, so that if you try to follow where this particular work takes place and how its value is created and where it ends up in the system, you see it's not an easy process. It's not a direct process. Most commodities have value that is not equivalent to the amount of labor that goes into the production of that commodity.
Can I maybe use this example to nail down the concept? Because it seems to me that, you know, in your work, you have used over and over the way oil companies, the whole oil industry, extractive, it's accumulating surplus, right? It's, in fact, been one of the richest enterprises, capitalist enterprises in the planet. Is a good example of this transfer, right? Because it employs very few workers. And so in many ways it's a kind of an enigma how they're accumulating so much surplus if they actually employ, relatively speaking, very few workers. Whereas I think much of your work has shown that yes, because of this transfer, that labor is in capitalism is often transferred from sectors with a very low level of technological development into the sectors who have a higher level of technological development, which basically have the capacity to extract and to force this transfer. So that, for example, the oil companies are accumulate an immense amount of value, not because of the labor on the platform, on the oil rig, but accumulate the labor and the surplus value from all the people who are paying for electricity bills, who every time, for instance, there is an increase, they have to work more to pay for the new gas bill, electricity bill, etc., etc. So they have millions of little spots, you know, a little restaurant, a little kitchen, a little with a very low level of, and yet, nevertheless, you know, I mean, you've taught many times that we are all the oil workers proletariat. That the oil workers proletariat is not only the people who are working on the rigs, because we are all paying all our labor insofar as we are paying gas bills, electricity bill, all of this. We are all contributing to the accumulation of the oil companies. And this again shows that, you know, the point you were making now, that in capitalism, it's very deceptive where the surplus value is coming from.